How doing? You're on the Cavewall casting couch, and it's my very freshman. So, what would you get in music? My main influence is probably through the Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Frusciante. I like a lot of Jimi Hendrix stuff, and also like Tame Impala, all the kind of trippy stuff. I like the kind of guitars with different, really different sounding effects. I like more stuff like a lot of psychedelic stuff, like strange effects. Like when you listen to a song, you think like how did the person make that? Like how did they come across making that sound? Like usually stuff like that. Yeah, I just try to incorporate kind of things in the songs that do actually sound really different. Like when the song was on Veronica, when we were in, I was in recording in the studio, I accidentally mucked up a line, but when you played it, recorded it over the other line, it sounded amazing. It sounded like something like an early Smashing Pumpkins kind of sound album, and it sounded like a spaceship taking off or something like that. But that's like the kind of stuff I'd like, the stuff that like you make the guitar sound like something that you wouldn't expect it to sound, things like that. I'd always I knew music from a young age, and the first album I ever bought was by the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers, probably still maybe probably the best album I've ever bought.
Jesus Christ, on a bike? Whoa.
You know, tell us what that is.
We don't know what it is.
Help me.
It looks interesting. What's it?
Colombiana, something like that. I don't know.
Is it just all pure minor sound?
It's kind of like a coconut that's been exposed to extreme amounts of radiation.
Hi, I'm Amy Robertson. This is
Juan. This one is John.
we're the ones that, you know, go, oh look, this is a good chord sequence, or these are fun lyrics, or this is a good tune. And then we bring it to the rest of the band.
That's a fat ass riff.
Yeah, that's a fat ass riff. The rest of the band write their own parts, but it's built up from stuff that we work on, either together or separately, and then we bring it together and it turns into the beautiful music that we make.
A good example would be, you weren't in the band?
Wasn't in the band.
But this time last year.
Literally this time last year.
Last year in Fans Music, I was sitting in my jam and I showed you these two chords. I went, ooh, I like them.
Yeah, and exactly that way as well.
It set you free.
That's
One of the
basically
tracks
what
in
it
the album.
became.
Yeah.
Because you really annoyed everybody around the way, just playing it
Constant playing it, because I knew it, I needed to make it into something beautiful, and then Amy wrote this introduction on the piano, and it was lovely. Just went so well, and then it just sort of progressed from that.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what the inspiration of singing about being a prostitute came from, but it worked well, so
Aye.
and it blossomed from there. I play keys and do backing vocals for Gia Valentina, but I also play trombone and guitar and ukulele and a couple other instruments. My musical influences have been slightly different from the rest of the band. Like, I grew up playing in jazz bands and concert bands and big bands and stuff like that, so playing in a rock band was a big change for me. I'm constantly getting told, stop, relax a bit, stop trying to make everything so together, which is weird. Basically, I sang in choirs and I like classical music, and apart from John, I don't really share that many musical interests with the rest of the band, with Anton and his crazy instruments and cheesy and his stupid mental solos and stuff.
I've got my red dress on tonight. I can't do it, I'm sorry, that's me.
Right, who you are, what you do?
My musical influences are obviously the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Flea, the bass player from Muse, Christopher Wilson, I think his name is. Yeah, I like his bass lines, and tend to be 80s ones. Like, through Anton's dad, I've actually realised that all the 80s bass lines are awesome, so I've just been listening to that non-stop, and I just like any songs that have good bass lines. I don't really have any particular music taste, It's got a good bass line, I'll listen to. I got into playing bass guitar through weird circumstances actually. In school during second year I tried to pick French over music, and the teacher said not enough people picked French, so I had to pick another subject. Then I chose music, and I'd only done in first and second year either drums, keyboard or bass guitar, so it was one of the three. So I just opted for bass guitar, and all of a sudden ended up in a band and couldn't be happier with what's actually happened. When I first started writing music, it was predominantly guitar riffs. It was a lot of influence from Kings of Leon and the Strokes, because I like the sort of guitar riffs, the sort of gritty ones. And then also when I started getting Arctic Monkeys and Queens of the Stone Age, just sort of progressed on from that. So in my songs, majority tend to like that would be a standout guitar riff. And the song's really built on that. It's me sitting in my bed with my guitar, recording it on my phone and then adding stuff over on top of it, and I bring it in. I really got into music just through watching my big brother play when I was wee, because when I was about 7 or 8, he was in a band and he was out gigging all the time, and he seemed to really enjoy it and he loved it. And that's just what he wanted to do in life. So when I got to about 10, I got my first guitar. He taught me a few chords, C and G or something. And I just went on YouTube and watched tutorial videos. And sort of built up from that really.
I'd say my favourite band are System of a Down. I just love the kind of the manicness of it all. It's all kind of crazy and stupid, but at the same time it's classic. Light Square?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's good. And then my second favourite band used to be Rage Against the Machine, but Jeff Buckley's kind of taken over in the past year. But I mean, I still do like Rage, but just not as much as Jeff. I say Jeff because we're best pals. See, lyrics are a funny thing, because I can't really get into a band unless I can relate to the singer, because if I can't relate to the singer, I can't hack it. But it's not so much the lyrics, it's more about, well, to an extent it's about lyrics, but it's more about their passion, the way they deliver the lyrics. Like Bruce Springsteen's a massive inspiration. He's Born to Run and Darkness on the Edge of Town, 70s are just powerful vocals. They're not the crispest vocals, they're not the nicest vocals, they're raw and they've got emotion in them. But I don't really take lyrical inspiration off anyone, I just kind of write it myself. I don't.
11. It was kind of just a thing where I had seen some people doing it and thought, that looks fucking awesome, I want a shot at that. So I convinced my mum and dad to get me a drum kit, and I got every substitute for a real drum kit under the sun. And then I remember one Christmas I just was like, I can get a drum kit. If I don't get a drum kit, I'm leaving. I'm 10 years old, I will walk out this house. I didn't really say that because I was 10 years old. But I got a drum kit, and then I was like, wow, and then I got a couple of lessons, and then I was kind of like, okay, lessons are expensive. So YouTube and just listen to music, and then you kind of work out how to play things yourself and learn things yourself. So it was kind of that vibe, and went to school and studied it at higher and stuff. And then got in the band with the guys that went to school with me, John, Andrew and Kieran. and Amy, but she came later and she was in, you know. And then we just kind of jammed and got a wee band thing together. I've got quite a strange, varied influence. I started listening to Foo Fighters, that's kind of what got me into the band, because I'd played drums before that and never taken them that seriously, and I was like, these guys are fucking awesome, I want to do that, so I tried. I've always been listening to sort of hip hop and rap as well, and as much as I hate it, the mainstream pop stuff, there's some things in there I'll just be like, and a lot of electronic stuff as well, a lot of dubstep, a lot of electro. That's kind of influenced me as well. So there's all this kind of mishmash of electronic and instrumental music and metal, and that all kind of fuses together into what you hear in the drums of Gia Valentina.